What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I just kind of wanted to do a quick little comparison between Android Q and Android Pie. I mean, if you guys don't even know, Android Q Beta 1 was just released today, so I kind of want to do a quick comparison. I mean, like, this isn't supposed to say too much. Android Pie was like pretty refined if you think about it. It was towards the end of its life anyway. Android Q, though, we're just getting started, so there's going to be lots of bugs. There's going to be a lot of everything. If you're currently on Android Pie, I would recommend staying there. Do not upgrade to Android Q on your main device. So no matter what this speed comparison shows, if it's fast or whatever, just kind of take that with a grain of salt, alright? Don't go and like start updating out of nowhere. But as you can see, I mean, I'll just kind of talk over the speed comparison this whole entire time. I kind of start off loading like some basic system apps, and I just want to say I didn't go too all out. Like, I didn't go crazy with this thing. I just kind of compared some random apps I had on both these phones, so I was like, whatever. So on the left, I have Android Pie. On the right, I have Android Q. Now, I don't even know what they're going to call Android Q. They're probably, in my opinion, they're probably going to call it Android Quesadilla, even though it's not a dessert. That's kind of what I see them doing. But I mean, overall, I mean, it's a pretty basic speed comparison I did. The Play Store, things like that, they pretty much open almost the same speed. But if you look, I mean, in my opinion, I kind of do think Android Pie is just like a little bit faster. Like when I'm opening things, like when I open up Google Chrome, that was kind of weird because on Q I was loading a page, on the Pie I wasn't. So that's kind of a random weird thing. I do understand that was kind of my fault. And I kind of continue with like the camera and even things like Instagram. If you haven't even seen that yet, I kind of show like the frames just are a little bit slower on Android Q. Now, it's not the biggest deal in the world. I mean, over time, those things will get better and better, so I totally understand. But like, it's just kind of weird that that is the case. Like almost every single app I opened on Android Pie was pretty much faster than on Android Q. And they're just a few frames here and there. It's like not even the end of the world. I'm pretty sure if you're like playing a game, I do actually end up showing Real Racing 3. Games like that, everything will be perfectly fine. It's not going to be a humongous deal at all. Even with Temple Run, this was kind of surprising though. A game like Temple Run isn't even that crazy intensive of an app or intensive of a game. I mean, like, I think like Snapchat in a way is like even more intensive on an Android than Temple Run is, but on this you can see Android Q was just a little bit slower at opening it than Android Pie, which was kind of weird. I was not expecting that yet again. But you know, these things, I mean, in the real world, we don't expect them. God, I'm so idiot. But even things like Twitter, here's when I start loading up Real Racing 3. I'm pretty sure this audio is not going to be synced up with the video. So Real Racing 3 pretty much just kind of smooth through, right? You would think like it's not going to be that much of a difference between these two, but this is such a crazy thing. And in my opinion, I thought Android Q might even have like a competitive advantage because I've already opened it before. So I mean, like, the first time of me opening it was on Android Pie, which was on to the left. So as you can see, like, Android Q is just slow behind than on Android Pie, and I wasn't expecting this much of a difference. If I'm being completely honest, I was expecting Android Q to be kind of near it. Like, I wasn't expecting this much of a difference, and this is probably as accurate of a speed comparison you will probably ever get. Even if I owned another Google Pixel 3 and try to tap them at the same time and everything, it probably would not be as accurate as this is because I go frame by frame. So on the left side is a whole different video than on the right side, so I can match up every single frame to even to the point of me tapping the screens. So when I go ahead and tap them and I sync that footage up, and this is what you're seeing here. Now, if you look on the left, you can see the Google Pixel 3 on Android Pie was already finished, but the one in Android Q was actually still lagging behind, which is insane. Again, this is a typical, I mean, I'm not saying Android Q is going to be bad or anything. This is kind of just to see like a starting point. I'm sure once Android Q starts actually developing and gets better and better, it's just going to become a better and better software overall, man. Like, I'm not saying like Android Q is a horrible thing. I'm saying Android Q will become better and better with software updates overall. And I kind of allude the same thing to like iOS. I mean, if you guys don't know, or even, let's just compare it back to Android, like Android Kit Kat to Android Lollipop. I'm sure when you guys upgraded all that stuff, it was probably slower, but by the time Android 5.1 came out, it was probably much better than Android 5.0, and it was probably faster than Android 4.4.4. So what I'll definitely tell you is don't let these little speed comparisons and everything deter you away from looking forward to Android Q. Even me, I was the one doing these tests, and I'm still looking way forward to Android Q. And in my opinion, even if it is just a little bit slower, the features that you're going to get from Android Q will outweigh any like sadness you will feel from the actual speed comparisons, or just comparing them overall. You probably won't even notice that big of a difference. So that's pretty much it. A little bit of a speed comparison. Let me know what you guys think though. Do you think this was a crazy speed comparison? Are you kind of looking forward to it? Or are you kind of not? Let me know what your favorite features of Android Q are. I'd love to know, but hit that like button if you enjoy this quick little comparison, but definitely hit that subscribe button. That'll mean so much. Also, check out the links in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. All those links are linked down below. I would really appreciate it if you guys could check it out. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.